Hey everybody, it's Zypic, and welcome back to another Rust base build. Today, I'm going to be showcasing a new base design built for a trio group. This base uses floor stacking and a double bunker to guarantee the safety of your loot. With that said, let me introduce you to the Terminator, a small yet insanely strong solo, duo, or trio base. The base costs a respectable 27 rockets to the TC and approximately 35 to 40 rockets to all of the main loot rooms. It does this while still keeping a low upkeep and build cost, which is easy to maintain for a small group. The double bunker design is something I've created myself. I use the different levels of floor stacking to guarantee a small yet foolproof design that any player could build and also seal from the inside. With all that said, let's get right into the base tour, and then I'll show you guys how to build it. Heading up to the front door, you'll notice the exterior turret. There are actually two more turrets on the opposite side of the base that cover 360 degrees when their garage doors are open. Notice by our roof that there's plenty of space to expand or even add in a shooting floor. We have a basic airlock guaranteeing that no one can go deep, and if that were to happen, we have a flame turret guarding the drop down and front door. Going past our first garage door, notice we have access to our research table, large box, and 3 bags. We can also close the doors to our exterior turret through the wall. Continuing straight through a garage door path, we come to 2 furnaces, and behind that we have our first drop box / main loot room. 2 doors behind that we get our main upstairs 7 box loot room. It's guarded by 2 metal walls or approximately 16 rockets. If we decided to turn right at our drop box loot room, we will get to a locker, and behind one more door we get our drop down as well as a few small boxes. Let's head down into the bunker and continue on the tour from there. Now in our bag room, you guys can see we get access to our level 3 workbench, 3 small boxes, a few stashes on the ground, as well as an upper wall for any electricity we may need. Opening up the next garage door, we get a couple vending machines, and continuing past that we get our TC as well as 5 large boxes. Notice to the left, we also have access to open up our bunker. The TC upkeep is now on your screen. Let's go ahead and do a quick bunker tutorial just so you guys understand exactly how it is that our double bunker works. The best way to explain this type of bunker is like a stability bunker, however without any raised foundations and a lack of twig half walls. Notice that when we pick out or demolish a floor tile on our twig side, the corresponding tile in our bunker drop down chute will also break. Replacing the bunker is very quick and easy, and it can be done from either side of the base. And now with all of that done, we can get right into the base build. Hey guys, so we're going to get right into this base build. Before we start, I just want to mention that this is actually my first live build. I normally edit and add in all the voiceovers afterwards, but in this one we're going to be doing them all during the base. I got a new mic, so hopefully it sounds pretty good. So first of all, we're going to build in this ramp with 2 square foundations underneath. We can then place a small box where I zoom in on the video. Notice it's right in front of this piece of bent twig. Hopefully you guys can see that. We're going to place in our small box right on that line, just like that. And now holding crouch and standing right up against this box, we're going to place in a triangle foundation relatively close to the ground, just like this. We're not going to touch our mouse in order to not change our player's orientation. Okay, so place in triangle foundation and then only holding D. We're going to move down to the left until the foundation comes up as blue. Notice if you overshoot it a little bit, you can use A to go back. Just get those foundations overlapping, place it in. You should end up with this, and we're going to test it now. Place in 2 walls first of all. You should have no gaps, okay? And we're going to go around to the back, go off the lower one, place in another raised foundation. And you guys can test it to make sure you can floor stack with these roof tiles here. You should be able to place in the top roof tile afterwards, following the bottom one. Okay. Now, if everything checks out there, we can remove all of this stuff, remove our walls and our other raised foundation. And now we can get right into the base build. Alright, so we're going to start by placing in a square foundation, triangle, and another square off of our lower triangle. We can then remove the lower triangle, and we can place in 3 more raised triangle foundations, removing the back 2. Then we're going to remove our square, place in another raised triangle foundation, We're going to place in a hard side wall. This will be our drop down chute. Soft side facing in, and then 2 half walls to soft side facing out, just like this. Demolish the lower one, and also demolish this raised foundation here. You guys should be left with this. Notice the stability on these two is not great, but it won't matter. Still gonna work. And you guys can see now we have all of our foundations complete. We can replace the lower one there. And at this point we're gonna go ahead and put walls all around our starter base. And we're gonna upgrade all of these walls to stone. Alright, and just like that, the whole starter is done. Let's go ahead and get the roof on. But before I do that, let me explain to you guys quickly how the double bunker works, so you guys understand what roof pieces you can and can't upgrade. So notice that if I place in a lower square off of our walls, just like this, we can see how our double bunker will actually work. Let's fly up and so I can explain it to you guys a little bit better. So now you guys can see that this triangle piece is not connected to any of the walls, meaning that when we demolish this piece of twig, the triangle in our drop down chute will also break. Now if we do the same thing on the bottom layer, you'll see the same thing happens, and now you guys can get how our double bunker works. But of course, if we had, for example, a square right here, and we tried to seal off our bunker, notice that when we break this piece of twig, it doesn't demolish. Because of this roof piece here, it will stay and it will not let our bunker open up. And same thing goes if you guys have a triangle on this side lowered, so you guys cannot touch any of those sides. Very important there. And with that said, we can go ahead and continue on to the base. So we can start by placing in our lower roof pieces on this side of the base. Place in a raised one, very important that it's actually the raised triangle. You guys should be able to place in a lower one like that. And what we can do, we can upgrade all these to stone for now, and we'll go ahead and upgrade this one to wood. We're going to pick that out later on, so we can just keep that just the way it is. Same thing with this side, upgrade it to wood. And don't forget guys, this is only 2 or I think this is 3 machetes, by the way, to break out. Machetes are quite cheap to craft. I expect that you guys will have no issues with those. Now quickly, let's go ahead and get on all of our doors. Notice that we're going to upgrade both of these. You may have to even upgrade this one to metal, and I'll explain why in just a minute. Let's go ahead and get our TC down. We can place in a few boxes as well. And now you guys can see why I upgraded that frame to metal. If it's stone, you will probably not be able to fit this box in place, and that's an issue. Obviously, you want 3 boxes next to your TC. If you guys remove the twig, you should be able to place in a final box. You guys are going to have to place in a furnace. You may even be able to do it with a small box, depending on how high your foundations are. Place it in just like that. Hop on top of it, and then build yourself a little twig landing like this. You guys can easily just jump out onto your roof. Now before I forget to mention, we should definitely place in a triangle piece here, and then on top of this, we can fit in this triangle frame. We're just going to upgrade this to stone for now. Eventually this will be metal. Demolish both of those twig bits, and we can start working on the outside of our base. I'm going to show you guys the top-down view of exactly where your foundations are going to go. And at this point, I already expect that you guys have at least half of the resources to build, so we're going to start upgrading all of these foundations to metal. And that is why I would definitely recommend getting a 2x2 down beforehand and getting at least half of the resources you need. Don't forget the resource cost will always be in the top right hand corner if you guys need to see it at any time in the base build. Now heading up top, we're going to build all of the walls around our bunker. We're going to upgrade all of them to metal. We're going to just finish up our bunker from the inside afterwards. It's not a big deal if you guys just want to leave it stone for now. And I would definitely recommend upgrading walls like this to metal. Or if you guys want to be even more secure about it, you guys can upgrade them to armored. Just like that. So next up, let's just go ahead and finish up the top floor before we start working on the outer stone honeycomb. And just to make sure no one raids our base, since we've already spent quite a few resources on it, we're going to go ahead and build in our drop down chute right now. We're going to go ahead and get a garage door on here right now. And now everything's pretty much sealed up, and it's very difficult for anyone to actually raid in and do anything to the base. We're going to go ahead and add all of the outer stone honeycomb. So we're going to start by placing in all of the triangle honeycomb first. Now we can start placing in all of our roof pieces. So we're going to get a roof, and in any square that has a stone side to it, we're going to build a roof piece. If you guys just have two metal walls like this, we're just going to seal it off with two stone walls. If you have a metal wall and a stone wall, we're going to place the roof facing the metal wall, and obviously finish that off with another wall on the side. Next to our garage door, you guys will see this drop down piece here. This piece is going to be the only one that's going to be lower, just like this. Make sure that's just stone. And other than that, we can upgrade all of the outer honeycomb on the raised foundation, just like that. At this point, let's go ahead and get our front door down. This bit here will actually be our drop down from the roof. Very useful to have it in your airlock, since it's a lot easier to build and a lot harder to get deeped as well. We'll also go ahead and build in all of these auto turret slots right now. If you guys don't have a glass reinforced window just yet, instead, you guys can use a double door frame or a single door frame in that position. Now, in front of the other two roof pieces, we're going to place in metal walls. And right next to that as well, since this will be our auto turret slot, we're also going to place in another metal wall. And that goes for both sides. And then add in the rest of the frames for our auto turret to sit. Even if you guys don't have auto turrets just yet, I still recommend putting garage doors in these spots, since it'll make the whole base a lot stronger. And notice you guys may have to go downstairs to fill in a few of these walls, unless you guys want to do them from the inside like this. And notice that if we guys did do the floor stacking beforehand, you will not be able to place in frames here. Some people were telling me in the comments last time that you're somehow not allowed to place in frames through the floor anymore. That's definitely not the case. As you guys can see, I'm doing it right now. So yeah, there's no worries about that. They did not change anything, and placing in walls through the roof is still the same way as it was before. I would definitely recommend upgrading all of these frames to metal. Now here, why I told you guys to leave this down one is because we're actually going to use this floor frame. We can upgrade it to metal, and the reason I did this is actually because now we can place in our frame, first of all, like that, very easily, but mainly the reason is because now we can easily fit in our garage door. Make sure the roller is facing inside. That's because when we place in our outside garage doors just like this, we can now access them through the wall. Might as well put a glass reinforced window down now, and you guys can see we can open them up. If we have anyone door camping us, very easy way to get rid of them. Same frame goes here. Placing another garage door, and at that point we can seal this off with stone. And you guys may want to upgrade this one to armored, since it isn't floor stacked and it is actually just one wall away from our bunker, as you guys can see. Also, don't forget to upgrade this one to armored. And if you guys want to be super secure about it, you guys can even use 2 half walls here. Build in this roof piece, break those out, there you go. And now we can fit in some small boxes on top of here, and also 7 boxes in this small loot room here. Alright, let's head up onto the roof, and we can start working on the very top floor. So this is what we have so far. Let's start with all of the outer honeycomb that we didn't finish from before. There we go. With all that now done, we can start working on all of our outside roof pieces. Leave these ones open next to our metal walls, since we're actually going to floor stack that a little bit differently. Okay, now the reason I told you guys to leave these out is because now we're going to use 2 floors. If you guys can't place it, you may have to remove the garage door. Maybe just flip it on the inside. There we go. Head back up on the roof, and then we can cover that up with another stone. And I think you guys will see what I mean by saving the raider. Obviously the raider thinks that you forgot to upgrade this top roof floor, but if they hit it, it will actually just be hiding another one underneath, and it'll end up being the same price as if they just went through the metal wall. You can upgrade all of the lower levels of this roof stacking as well. Just like this. Upgrade all of these to metal. Sorry, not this one though. This one can be stone. Just like that. And cover those up with stone as well. Now this one you cannot actually floor stack, so we'll have to go inside and do it a different way. You guys build in the lower triangle. Just like this. Again, you guys may have to remove this garage door. You can now place it through the roof, just looking the right way. And to do that, you also may have to place in this floor, just like that. And now that has also floor stacked, we can upgrade that one to metal. Stone on top, you can metal in all of these 3 pieces, just like that. And finish all of them off with metal on top as well. And this one obviously, same idea, just stone is fine. At this point, the outside of the base is finished. Let's add in some doors. And we're also going to add in a flame turret underneath our drop down, just to avoid getting beeped through either the front door or our roof access as well. Don't forget to lock up all these doors, obviously. And for all these garage doors, we're going to have to go downstairs to place them in. Notice this one here is a little bit different. This garage door is going to be very, very specific the way we place it in. So whenever we get it in just like this, lock it right away. That's very important. If you guys don't do that, it's going to be stuck open. Just like that. Can upgrade this frame now to metal. We'll start working on the inside of our base. We're going to upgrade upgrade a few important foundations. We can also remove this wooden double door, and also we can pick out both pieces of our wooden roof. Also upgrade the roof pieces to metal here. Upgrade all of our foundations to armored. And it's personal preference, but you guys can place in a half wall and upgrade it just like this, and that way you guys don't have to worry about anyone using explosive ammo to raid out that TC. And obviously, if you guys want, you guys can even fit in furnaces in this little drop-down room here, or stashes, whatever you guys need to fit. Normally, you can get it in here. I'll let you guys mess around with that for a little bit. And now all those doors are down. So I'm gonna kind of skip through placing in all of the boxes because I don't think you guys need to watch me do that. So we'll start with a 4-box loot room on the ground in here. Alright, so now with this done, we can now upgrade this stone triangle off the side, and we can fit in 3 more large boxes right on top. We can also place in a couple small boxes right on top of our drop down, like I said before. And this room is kind of up to you. Personally, depending on the size of your group, you may want more large boxes in here, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to add in 4 more as a kind of a drop box room. Now you guys can place in a couple furnaces, just like this. Next up, we're going to get the locker right up against this wall here. Next up, we're going to add in our research table. Place it as far back against the wall. This is going to be very close, so you definitely have to get very, very specific with this. Place in this large box underneath, and you guys can grab 3 bags, place them all lined up right in this square, just like that. If you guys need to repair anything, I would recommend just putting the bench down here, repairing it, and then picking it up afterwards. Let's go ahead and get down all of our turrets right now, as well as the garage doors, just so it's done and I don't have to worry about it later on. Remember to put in that triangle piece through the wall here, which will allow us to fit in a couple more boxes on top. Go ahead and get in our tier 3 against this back wall next to the drop down, and we can fit in quite a few small boxes next to that as well. Just like that. And you guys can even fit in an extra large box in this room if you guys only had 2 players. Since I'm building this for a trio, we're going to place in 3 bags down in the bunker. And also, we can fit in some vending machines eventually. If you guys have the HQM, I would definitely recommend building them. Just remember to disable broadcasting. But they're super useful for space and storage if you guys need it. Another very important thing, actually, I forgot to mention this completely, is to fit in our triangle floor frame. We need this here, and it needs to be upgraded to armored. Now one more time, I'm going to show you guys how to seal off the bunker, just so you guys get a perfect idea of how to do it every time. We're going to place in our raised twig right here, also our lower twig right here. We're going to head into our drop down chute, place in your raised one first. You guys can upgrade it to metal, you don't need to upgrade it to armored, since it'll be the same cost if they just went through this roof or this roof. And you guys can build in your second one, metal as well. And whenever we get on the next morning, we'll stop one in the bottom, and you guys will have no issues getting up into your floor.
Yeah.